Welcome to Gemara Academy. In this class, we will learn Tosfos Dibra Maschel Midi Dahava Amayver Chayfetz B'Rishus Harabim. Let's begin. Midi Dahava Amayver Chayfetz B'Rishus Harabim. Since it's like a case where a person carries an item in Rishus Harabim. Here in the Gemara, we compare the case when a person carried from Rishus HaYachid to Rishus Harabim through a Carmelist when he carries more than 4 Amos in Rishus Harabim. Just like when he carries more than 4 Amos in Rishus Harabim, the extra Amos are not part of the Chiyuv. Still, when he puts it down afterwards, he's Chayiv. So too in our case, although in the Carmelist it's not part of the Chiyuv, when he puts it down afterwards, he should be Chayiv. So Tosfos is going to explain why we didn't compare our case to a more similar case. So let's see Tosfos inside. Havale leminkat, he should have chosen Hamaitzi, the case where a person carried out from Rishus HaYachid to Rishus Harabim, the Iri Beileil, which we're talking about earlier. Our case is when a person carries from Rishus HaYachid to Rishus Harabim through a Carmelist. We should have compared it to a more similar case, which is when a person carries from Rishus HaYachid to a Rishus Harabim, and the similarity is the Chol Kama Delei Manachle, that as long as he doesn't put it down Mifter, he's Pater. We would say, just like when a person carries from Rishus HaYachid into Rishus Harabim and doesn't put it down immediately, that extra carrying in the Rishus Harabim is not part of the Chiyuv. Still in all, when he puts it down afterwards, he's Chayiv. So too in the case when he carried it through the Carmelist, although it's not part of the Chiyuv, when he puts it down afterwards in the Rishus Harabim, he should be Chayiv. So that case is much more similar, since they're both referring to a case where a person carried from Rishus HaYachid to Rishus Harabim, and therefore, says Tosfos, Havale leminkat, he should have chosen that case. And the reason why we didn't, says Tosfos, is Elam Mishum de Basar Hachi Nakat Maiver, because after this case we chose a case of somebody carrying 4 Amos in Rishus Harabim. The next case that our Gemara tries to compare our case to is when a person carries an exact 4 Amos in Rishus Harabim. So since the next case needs to be a case of carrying 4 Amos in Rishus Harabim, so the previous case we also used is a similar case when a person carries more than 4 Amos in Rishus Harabim. So therefore, Nakat Leinami Hash, they also chose it over here. Since he chose it as the next case, he chose it as this case as well. And Tosfos adds a second explanation, and Mefarshim explain why we need both explanations. Over Cholin Yonei Avara B'Rishus Harabim Kamer, and in all manners of carrying in Rishus Harabim, Kamer is what he's talking about. When he said Amayver Chayfetz B'Rishus Harabim, it actually didn't specify he carried more than 4 Amos in Rishus Harabim. It's just a broad term, somebody who carries in Rishus Harabim. And it includes in it both the case that we look at simply when a person carried more than 4 Amos in Rishus Harabim, but it also includes in it a case where a person carried in Rishus Harabim from the Rishus HaYachid. And it means to say, it's like a person who carried in Rishus Harabim more than what he needed to after he removed it from the Rishus HaYachid. So to summarize Tosfos, we explained that the reason we didn't choose the more similar cases, number one, because the next case is a case of carrying 4 Amos in Rishus Harabim, so we use a similar case to that when a person carries more than 4 Amos in Rishus Harabim. And secondly, Tosfos points out that in truth we use the terminology that embraces both cases, both the case that's similar to the next case of carrying more than 4 Amos in Rishus Harabim, and also the case that's more similar to our case when a person carried from Rishus HaYachid to the Rishus Harabim.